I've been in St. Louis for the past 30 years working with ITEST. Now let me tell you what that means. The long and short of it is it's Institute for Theological Encounter with Science and Technology, and we shorten it to ITEST. What we do in ITEST is look at advances in science and technology and what those advances mean for the Christian faith. Then our mission, to shorten it, is ITEST's mission is to demonstrate that faith and science are complementary paths to truth, to God. So they work along in a complementary manner. There is an intersection between faith and science that you hear some of our scientists speak about very beautifully. Now, how did this program come about? First of all, let me invite you, before I do that, to join us in ITEST. We are stationed at the Archdiocese of St. Louis at the Regawi Center presently. We have membership all over the world, and you don't have to take an exam to become a member of ITEST. If you're a physician, or if you scrub floors, as I sometimes do, we welcome all of you, because we should all have an interest in what science and technology is doing today. We're living in a scientific technological age, for sure, and when I talk to people about ITEST, they'll say, I don't know anything about science. I don't think that would interest me. And I say to them, do you have a cell phone? You are interested in technology. Therefore, there is an interest in science. So let me tell you a little bit about this program. Way back in the days of 1980s, Father Bob Brungs, our Jesuit director, often used to say to me, I wonder how we can get enough interest to surface some of the scientists from the parishes to tell us about what their science is, what their technology is, what they do in nursing or as a physician, and what that means for their faith, if anything. We really need to surface these scientists. So at that point, we didn't have the money to do it, but many years later, we did a proposal. Tom Sheehan, our director now, and I and our board worked on a proposal to our Sunday Visitor Institute. You all know our Sunday Visitor. If you don't, you should. Anyway, we submitted a proposal, and we asked if we could get some funding for surfacing this kind of scientists and engineers from our parishes. It's so important to start things in parishes because that's where our people are. That's where the faith is. We did get a small grant for working with this, and as a result, we started contacting parishes. We got in touch with the parishes around the Archdiocese, and our first response was 14 parishes responded that they were interested. And we did follow up with them. I met with every one of the adult formation coordinators, told them what it was that we expected of them and what they could expect from us as far as help was concerned. So our first one was at it was Ascension Parish here in Creve Coeur in St. Louis, and the audience was fantastic. We had 225 people at that meeting. The organization of it was fantastic. We had a physician, a neuroscientist, and a theologian speak at that meeting. Everything went beautifully. What happens after a meeting like this? Because you'll be hearing from our own scientists and physician here today, or at least on this video you will. Well, they spoke of their science, they spoke of their faith. Everything went beautifully. What happens after? We had questions from the audience. We expect that this kind of a program will proliferate around the United States. And we're working now with St. Joseph's Radio and TV, which will be the purveyors of this particular program. We don't want it just to be in 6 parishes around the Archdiocese. We want this to go out to the entire nation. And we will have program materials that will help facilitators do this. ITEST is always ready to help with this, and so is St. Joseph's. Let me just say one word here about conflict in science. One of our board members teaches at a high school here. She teaches physics in the freshman class. The first question she asks them in her physics class is, how many of you think there is a conflict between faith and science? 80% of the 8th graders who are now freshmen raise their hands and say yes. This is the kind of thing we see that can be worked on in our program that we're doing. The program is Scientists Speak of Their Faith, a model for parish discussion. It has gone well so far. We know that it will continue. And I want to leave you with one message that comes back to me from Father Bob Brungs, our director and founder of ITEST. He said, "Rest assured that a Christian in science and technology is the presence of Christ in science and technology."